bet we've been together for a million years.
And I bet we'll be together for a million more.
It's like I started breathing on the night we kissed. When I can't remember what I ever did before. What would we do, baby, without us? What would we do, baby, without us? And there ain't no nothing we can't love each other through. What would we do, baby, without us? Sha-la-la-la.
The one with two versions of how they met.
Hey Rena, do you ever wonder how Mommy and Daddy met?
I'm sure your dad's going to tell you a bunch of lies, but let's set the record straight.
They met at a social gathering, otherwise known as a frat party at UCLA, after a year and a half of seeing each other around campus. Rafael swears Cynthia was stalking him for a year and a half.
So Z, I keep seeing this girl around campus, man, and I think she's following me. Is she stalking me?
But Cynthia has an entirely different interpretation of the series of events leading up to that night.
Brenda, I cannot believe I keep on seeing the same guy in all of my classes. I swear, I think he's trying to follow me.
My first quarter at UCLA, I was adjusting to life in Los Angeles, and I didn't have a lot of friends. Us newbie Bruins tended to gravitate toward people from our neck of the woods. For me, that was the Yay/Bay Area. This is how I met my best friend, now best man, Z-Child. He was playing some of the finer Bay Area rap tunes, and by finer you know what I mean, in his Dykstra dorm room, when I overheard the jams and introduced myself. It was also around this time I stumbled into Kirchhoff Coffee House one lovely afternoon before one of my riveting lectures, and I asked this cute little Mexican girl for a cappuccino royale with non-fat milk. Yes, non-fat milk. I really watched my figure back then. Well, turns out that cute little Mexican girl ended up on the same floor as Z when he was forced to move from Dykstra to Hedrick Hall dorm. Apparently, Cynthia had been seeing me in Hedrick visiting Z, and she said to her roommate Allison, "Hey, that guy's cute." And then Allison totally told Chris, a mutual friend, who told Z, "Hey, that girl thinks you're cute." I mean, it's really that simple. One day, I got a crank phone call from Allison on behalf of Cynthia. It turns out she was in my Latin film class. So after class one day, Chris not so suddenly pointed out Cynthia as we were walking from our class down Bruin Walk. At this time, I said to myself, isn't that the cute coffee girl who questioned my choice in non-fat beverages? Turns out she had been in the same class as me for 6 straight quarters. Because she had connections with her homegirl Ursa, the student enrollment system, and was finding out which class I was in and following me everywhere. Does that sound like stalking to you? I'll let you decide. One night I went to this frat party, and there was that cute little Mexican girl who makes great non-fat beverages. So I asked her to dance to Montel Jordan's This Is How We Do It. By the way, we're so old now, that's considered a classic song. Well, the rest, as they say, is history.
Every quarter at UCLA, you expect to see brand new faces in each of your classes because there are 30,000 plus students at the university. However, during the fall, winter, and spring quarters of my freshman year, I kept seeing the same tall, dark, and handsome guy enter the large lecture halls in at least one of my classes per quarter. In the meantime, as fate would have it, Rafael, that same tall, dark, and handsome guy, came into Kirchhoff Coffee House, where I worked. I remembered this moment very clearly because it was the first time I had a real conversation with him. It went something like this. "Hi, welcome to Kirchhoff Coffee House. Can I help you?" I was so nervous I didn't hear his order. "Did you say a mocha frappuccino without whipped cream?"
No, I said a cappuccino royale with non-fat milk.
"That'll be $2.75. Very memorable, right? Back at dorm life in Hedrick Hall, I passed by Rafael on 4 North by the elevators. I told my roommate Allison that he was the same guy I kept seeing in my classes. She said she knew the guy Rafael was walking with, and so she started to ask about him. This is where Rafael began to think I was stalking him. As time went on, Allison and Z talked about us some more, leading up to a totally awkward moment on Bruin Walk. We were leaving Bunch Hall after a Chicano Studies class. Rafael and some of his friends were headed toward the dorms. Brenda, my best friend and now maid of honor, and a couple of my friends were walking about 100 feet behind them. All of a sudden, I see Rafael and his friends turning and pointing at me. I was so embarrassed and later found out that our mutual friend Chris was playing the role of Cupid and was, literally, just pointing me out. Needless to say, we had many people rooting for us to hook up. For example, Brenda and Rafael walked through Saxon Suites where I lived during our second year, where they hoped we would accidentally bump into each other. Who's stalking who now? Also, Allison kept urging Rafael to ask me out, and Ursa kept working her magic by putting us in the same classes. One evening, they all got their wish when that tall, dark, and handsome man asked me to get my boogie on to Montel Jordan's This Is How We Do It. The next night, I was out with my girls and he called me at 11:30 to leave a message. And the rest, as they say, is history.
On their 10th anniversary, in the depths of a brisk winter evening, with the moonlight shining down on the Jan's steps, in front of Royce Hall, Rafael got on one bended knee and asked Cynthia to be his wife. 10 years of love, laughter, friendship, admiration, tears, hugs, trust, and companionship had finally consummated in the ultimate symbol of human emotion. They enjoyed an exquisite dinner at one of Los Angeles' finest restaurants, Spago, delighted in the meal, laughed, smiled, and loved. Then he surprised her by taking a detour home through the hills of Westwood, driving her to the location where they would often cross paths, Jan's steps in front of Royce Hall. What better place to propose than the place where they might have first met? In life and love, we always come back to where our heart is. That's the romantic spin on it. No doubt, their family and friends would tell you, it's about damn time.
As we grew to love each other, I realized we had so much in common. I mean, there's the obvious height similarity,
And our love of the same sports franchises. Go Giants.
Go Dodgers!
Barry.
Barry sucks! Barry sucks!
Far be it from me to brainwash her only nephew Raymond. And it's not like we're known to enjoy spirits and great food at LA's finer establishments. And we've both always had manageable hair. No doubt our children will share the same.
Sit, Ubu, sit. Good dog.